please don't spoil it. Big up Portland, St. Thomas, Jamaica and America. Come listen my show. On the corner me I bring, come chat, voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. Yeah, views expressed, you know the rest. Come chat with DP, call me Damian Phillips. Come listen my show. On the corner me I bring, come chat, voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. VP is my name. Please don't spoil it. Big up. Come on. On the corner me I bring, come chat, voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. Just know it's a general knowledge. Views expressed, you know the rest. Come chat with DP, call me Damian Phillips. Ooh yeah, Phillips. Call me Damian Phillips.
All right, we're now starting a late show tonight. So let me say good evening. Thanks for joining me. I should look in the camera right there. But for some reason, I like looking at my monitor. But let me also look over here. And as I say good evening, thanks for joining. My name is Damian Phillips. I'm your host, and I'll be here. I want to hope until 10 o'clock, but depending what happened, it may go longer. I don't know. But let me say good evening again. Let me welcome those of you listening on VCR radio. That's my radio home. Let me say thanks for making it Vibes Corner Radio. Every Monday night, they allow me to say them a PMP, but them allow me to come talk. Things them on them PMP radio. I'm just saying that I don't know what they are. I have no idea. Don't care. It doesn't really matter to me. But them I'm a brethren, so I want to say big up to Vibes Corner Radio. Yeah. So what are we talking about tonight? We have a lot to talk about, but I made a discovery earlier this afternoon, and I used to say this, and I've gotten proof that the PMP is a cult. There are several factors, or I should say points, that prove same, and we're going to go down the list. We are going to go down the list as to why I think the PMP is a cult. But before we get to that, I was on a live today. Did I say good evening already? Let me say it again, just for the purpose of maybe you're just logging in, just coming in, and say hi to everybody everywhere we're there. So of course I am live on Vibes. I'm live on my live on TikTok. Yeah, that work. And you'll be able to come join me live. You can message me if you want on you can message me on my YouTube channel, and those information, whatever you send as message, will come directly on my screen. I'll be able to read it. Or if you want to have a conversation, feel free to send me a request on TikTok, and we'll be able to converse there. I was on earlier at a nice little run, having some conversation with peeps. So I saw this question surfacing basically all morning, and the question is, they're asking if the St. Thomas Urban Center is open, right? That is a big talking point from the PNP all day. Only thing to find out I think, well, I did ask, not let me pretend like I'm some genius. Cliff Hughes, Nationwide News Network. By the way, let me say welcome back, Cliff. Came out swinging, sir. I don't know if you saw it, but the leader of the opposition tried to send greetings to you and it just never come off right. Somebody say was smiling, like they were happy and maybe looking forward to hear some unfortunate news, but thanks be to God, them never get them wishes. So welcome. So get to find out that Nationwide News Network did a what's it call it, a feature, and as con to them, they got a anonymous letter from um, a tenant, and they went out there Friday to take a look for themselves to confirm or denied. And without further ado, I'm not going to talk about what the story say. I'm going to play it for you guys. However, like I say, it is now one of the PMP's hottest talking points, that the urban center is not open. But before I go there, and Josh was on this evening and he mentioned something. I don't know why. Is it me that always just see 9/11 whenever I look at my watch or my time? From 9/11, most of the time when I look at my watch, I see 9/11. Or it's just because 9/11 has a meaning now. So whenever I see it, it kind of stand out. I don't know. But I'm from Portland, not Portland, USA, but Portland, Jamaica. And I can recall in 2002, PJ Patterson opened the Errol Flynn Marina. That was later changed to the Errol Flynn Marina. It wasn't always Errol Flynn Marina. They changed it, right? And I can tell you up to date, which year me say? 2002, right? To date, the full, whatever they call it, of the I almost say urban center. The full complement of the Kenwright Pier, it was formerly Kenwright Pier, Errol Flynn Marina, it's not been up and running. 2022, 2026, so that's what, 24 years ago. However, this PMP now is talking about 10 months. And I always say this. I think Jamaica have this leniency towards the PNP that they can say anything and get away with it. It's like some woman where the love of them life or them first boyfriend, take the maiden or face first baby daddy, something like that. There's always something there that even if I say, I'm done with the dirty boy and whatever, like you just get all one message and you see one picture or you by yourself just sit down now, do nothing and memory just come back. Yeah, I feel like there's this love for the PNP by Jamaican. They can just do anything and get away with it, and nobody talks about it. I was doing this tongue in cheek even with Joshua earlier in my life when I told him that a talking point from the PMP. If you bring up like no, if any of them come on, they're gonna say that. If I bring up to say 24 years ago, PJ Patterson, then Prime Minister, opened the Errol Flynn Marina, and up to date, 24 years after, the big expectations that we had for that facility is not being met, not being used. You're going to hear that, oh, that is 24 years ago. Talk about now. No, I'm not doing it. And I'm going to go toe to toe, like the Prime Minister say. If we don't make meme, we make meme. If we don't post, we are post to. Big up yourself and your owness. Yeah. So, simple Google search, because somebody came into my chat and they were asking if the urban center is open. So before I show the feature from Nationwide News Network, let me just share with you, and you can look it up. Again, my topic this evening, or what I'm looking, is at Pnp Is A Cult. That's what I'm looking at, and I'm going to prove to you why I said that. But according to AI Review, Former Jamaican Prime Minister P.J. Patterson officially opened the Errol Flynn Marina in Port Antonio, Portland in 2002, built by the Port Authority of Jamaica and inaugurated with significant fanfare, similar to St. Thomas Urban Center. So fanfare, the facility was designed to attract yachting tourism featuring 32 berths and a boatyard and the Kenwright cruise. Right? Kenwright cruises. How much ship come distance? Anyway, let's move on. Key details regarding the opening include context. The marina was developed to modernize Port Antonio harbors and accommodate mega yachts up to 350 feet. So it was branded as the Mega Yacht Marina. Name origin: while it opened in 2002, it was later named after actor Errol Flynn, who famously promoted tourism in the area. Features include marina and boatyard that provides customs and immigration service for visitors. And just like the urban center, the Errol Flynn Marina had or have booth spaces or shop or all of that. Like, yeah. Right now, one building as you enter, they sell what's supposed to be Devon House ice cream, which the last time I had some, it wasn't Devon House at all. But yeah, and we were told that several other shops like that. In fact, they had it under lock and key for a while, because it seemed like a foreigner tourist alone, them they don't have to come in on them property. Um, Several things. They'd even touted it to say they would use it as the bypass for Port Antonio. Those of you who are from Port Antonio know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a small town and it can get congested. You know, if the supermarket's having delivery, it just block up the one street, which is West Street in Port Antonio. So it was branded as the bypass for Port Antonio, so we wouldn't have the every traffic. None of that now. In fact, they had security guards paying for years, manding the east and the west gates. And they will close the gate at 12 o'clock. And even that I was saying was a waste of money. But I can tell you, PNP know how to do things to make their people make money. And I like the numbers I may I see, but can I beg you some tops, please? Although I see the art them I go up and I can send me some gifts. Should I set my live goal? And Lashika don't say nothing to me. Don't bad mind the thing. All right, so let's go to the feature from Nationwide News Network, the urban center. Let's go there, and then we have a thing. Cause me as a man, I'm afraid for talk about the truth. Truth are truths, and if it is what it is what it is. So let's go to Nationwide News Network.
May last year, I remember clearly the promotion, the coverage that accompanied the official opening of the Morant Bay Urban Center in St. Thomas. And we all lauded the initiative and the building of the center because it is needed. I almost said was. It is needed. That part of St. Thomas and needed opened to only one of the several tenants, occupants, had begun business after, 217 days? That's the better part of a year.
I used to say, if I hear AI one more time, I'm going to lose it. But Monday.com is super easy to use and knows how to do AI right. My team quit.
It cost us, or it's costing $6 billion. It occupies about 360,000 square feet of commercial space. And it's there, except for KFC. And KFC is big in Jamaica, and it's well needed in St. Thomas. The people of St. Thomas complain that they're one of probably the only parish that were without a KFC. So it's good that KFC is the only tenant that is open, but that can be good for the viability of the center and the objectives that were laid out for the urban center. And frankly, this must be an embarrassment, a big embarrassment for the Holness administration and the Prime Minister himself, yes, who led the effort to build the urban center in Morant Bay. Only for this is like a black eye to the Prime Minister this morning. Yeah? And Nationwide went there last Friday and came back with this report from Shalois Michael.
The Morant Bay Urban Center was sold to the Jamaican public as a big deal. But the only big deal about what has happened since the Prime Minister cut the ribbon to open the facility amid glitz, fanfare, and expectation 217 days ago are the popular meal offerings sold by KFC. The commercial complex is managed by the Factories Corporation of Jamaica, FCJ. KFC apart, it was supposed to provide a home for the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation, the Parish Court, the Registrar General's Department, other fast food establishments, and BPO companies. Our news center observed construction work happening at various sections of the complex. Our interest in the state of affairs at the complex was piqued by an anonymous letter sent to our news center by a frustrated tenant. In the letter, the tenant complains to the FCJ about the absence of electricity at the complex and the massive dust nuisance. The tenant laments overall conditions, saying the state of their unit is not conducive to safe outfitting and the installation of fixtures. The tenant says only a few other tenants are even attempting to build out the spaces assigned to them, asserting that they are all frustrated by the lack of readiness of the place for business. Nationwide News also understands that China Harbor Engineering Company Czech, the contractor on the project, wrote to the FCJ in January this year, saying they cannot commit to a date for the completion of works at the facility. According to Czech, the main problems confronting tenants at the complex have to deal with the absence of electricity from the JPS and water from the NWC. On the point of water, there is no running water at the facility for any tenant, not even KFC. In fact, sources at KFC who refused to speak on the record because they were not authorized to do so say the company has only been able to open because it gets 2 truckloads of water daily for each shift to meet operational needs. The water is provided by a supplier in Kingston and is stored in 3 water tanks the company has been compelled to install. Where electricity is concerned, KFC opened using a generator. The company eventually got the JPS to connect it to the power supply grid. The KFC sources did say they are in constant dialogue with officials at the FCJ, who they say are trying to assist with removing the obstacles to doing business. They say the FCJ picks up the tab for the daily trucking of water. When our team visited last Friday, we spoke with an official from FCJ who said the facility is designed to host 50 tenants. We observed intense work on one building, said to be the future home of Juicy Patties. When the Morant Bay Urban Center was opened in May last year, a group of about 14 business owners who were said to be among the first to occupy stores at the facility stood beside the Prime Minister on the podium holding a symbolic key. It's fair to say that none of them would have expected to still be waiting to move in and get down to business. Shaloy Smichael for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Shaloy. Excellent reporting there by Shaloy and her team. We're going to take a break and come back with more what the dickens is happening or not happening with a much heralded Morant Bay Urban Center. 10 months after it was officially opened by the Prime Minister in May 2025, we're now learning, courtesy of Nationwide reporting, that only one tenant, there's still no water, no electricity on the campus or the complex. And when the implementing agency, the Factories Corporation, the FCJ, was asked to comment, they told us that no fixed or definitive date can be committed by the contractors on when the construction works will be fully completed. 10 months after, FCJ is China Harbour Engineering Company Limited, Czech. In a letter dated January 20 this year, Czech told the FCJ that all works under the original urban center construction contract and completed contract works are not due to construction deficiency, but linked to outstanding utility-related dependencies. What does that mean? It sounds to me like they're saying, we done. The utility-related dependencies would be what? JPS and NWC. In fact, the story Nationwide is reporting says these utility-related dependencies include commissioning of permanent electrical power by the Jamaica Public Service Company and water relocation works by the National Water Commission. It says completion of the remaining interface works depends on the resolution of these issues. FCJ says certificates of tenants to occupy their building units has not yet been issued. Oh my God. 10 months after. It says the units must not be formally handed over to or used by tenants at this stage. Now, this is scandalous. So why did you have the Prime Minister and the entire country and government out there 10 months ago to open this place? Did I just read this? The FCJ says certificates of tenants to occupy their building units has not yet been issued. It says the units must not be formally handed over or used by tenants at this stage. So what was the opening about? I think I know. It was officially opened in May 2025. And there was a certain event that was looming. That event took place on September 3, 2025. And the Prime Minister was on an opening spree across the entire country. And now this is blowing up in his face. I gather we have at 10:30, in a few minutes, the chairman of Factories Corporation, Mr. Tanny Shirley. What the hell is not happening at the Morant Bay Urban Center? I heard George this morning reading letters from some of the tenants out there, and they seem to have a problem hearing from the FCJ. Well, Mr. Shirley has several questions to answer when he joins us at 10:30 this morning.
The St. Thomas Urban Center. And like I say, to me, journalism come first before anything else. Is this a good look? No. Am I doing tit for tat when I mentioned at the beginning of my show that 24 years ago, the PNP did open with much of a fanfare similar to the Urban Center, the Errol Flynn Marina. And 24 years after, so will I be in good conscience to sit here and say, I don't have a problem with it? 10 months, that's almost a year. And I'm not comparing it either. But I've been saying this for a while now that I want us to reach the place where United States is, where once you form government, some people just automatically tender them resignation. And then you get to choose who you want to do what. Because the sad reality is, and we saw the politics that the PNP played in the latter part of 2025, starting with one Peter Bunting. When crime is out of control, it is the Prime Minister that gets the blame. However, when crime is under control, you hear that, no, sir, it's the police that we should commend for doing a good job. Yes? So, there is a explanation from Tony Shirley, which I didn't find that, but you guys can go and look for it. Don't be like the PNP who they don't research. Go and find it if you want to hear the explanation. To me, the explanation is neither here nor there for me. In fact, this shouldn't be the case. Can somebody confirm or deny if the St. Thomas municipality is a JLP or a PNP minister of chairman? Yeah, somebody confirm or deny for me, because that would say a lot too. Normally, when we hear they talk about the urban center, because it has been they kind of bring it up the other day, and of course, totally absorbing that they have done it. See, I have a text here saying almost the PNP opened the Falmouth Stadium in Trelawney, not in use. Also, the PNP opened the Falmouth, not in use. And we know of outer many and them end up selling to them friends. All them something. But let's not go down that road, because if you want to piss PNP off, just tell them the facts as you know it. Speaking of facts, one told me earlier today that the confessed killer is not the one that unalive his wife. I'm on TikTok, so I have to use TikTok friendly terms. And he's covering. And I thought this just came from a very popular podcast or YouTube host who has confessed to have some mental challenges. I thought that is where it started and it would have ended there. No, today I was told that what we read in the report, the press release from the DPP stating, and I don't want nobody tell me so don't repeat the lies them, because if you don't hear the lies them, you don't know the lies are being told. So you may hear it packaged in a kind of way that sounds truthful and believable, and you believe them. So debunking lies. So this gentleman told me before kicking me off his channel that, and yes, listen, you see, if you don't get kicked off on a channel, you're not going to do nothing. You understand? You have to be, if you're not where I'm at now, where people just see the my initials DP and they're fear, and I can play tapes for you or recording for you to prove that. No, I kind of realize I have some haters, which I don't even know them. That's the funny part of it. There are people that hate me for reasons best known to them. So yes, so I was told that the first and foremost, one of the deranged, mentally challenged person said that as far as he's concerned, it was a live roan removed from the body of Mrs. Melissa Silvera. And when I asked for clarification, the so-called host was keen to tell me that no, he knows what the other person meant because he's a 10-year weapon specialist. So I said, explain to me how a live round was found in Melissa's body, lower abdomen. And the brother still I say, yes, ma'am, him can explain. And I never that and which never made no sense. Which bring me to a point. People listen, and I'm all right. I'm all right with my 17 viewers on YouTube. I'm 185 on TikTok. Wow, thanks, guys. Keep on tapping. Let the algorithm sending it out there. But I was never one of those who just do things for numbers. I love Jamaica, and everything that I do is for my homeland. You understand? That is the reason why I do what I do. So I'm going to say this to you. If you come over here and you think it's foolishness I'm talking, you don't have to stay. You don't have to take my word for it either. And this is not me feeling like I'm on top of the world, I'm a reach. Because as I say, I just said it. I had 17 viewers on YouTube, and now it gone down to 15. So maybe them people take the hint and say, all right, me now listen. If you think I'm fooler than you, if you think I'm dumb and I'm stupid, don't stay here and be tortured to listen to an idiot talk things where is beneath you. And the reason why I said that is because that is going to be my way forward. I'm going to try to facilitate everybody. A lot of people use this saying, I'll view content. I'll try to do it if they come to my platform. But I will not try to get up into nobody's box that just their verbiage alone prove that they're beneath me. And again, I'm not saying that from a cocky point of view. I'm just saying it is bothersome. It annoys the echo out of me to listen to somebody who cannot string a couple words together to form a decent sentence, much less have a conversation. Because if this man has admitted to unaliving his wife, and you're going to be jumping through hoops to tell me that no, first and foremost, is not him do it, him a cover for somebody who could make me confess to unaliving somebody that me never did do. Like nobody. Yes, my son, me love you, you know it dearly, but no, you could not make me lie upon myself like that. Sorry. I'd have to try to find a good lawyer to do what lawyers do, but to actually lie on myself, no, wouldn't happen. So PMP lies. 3 of them I'm sharing with you tonight. One is that is not the confess killer, unalive his wife. The next thing is the live round that was found in his wife's body, Melissa Silvera, wasn't from his firearm. It was from a .22 caliber. And what's the other part of the lie? Oh, and based on the DPP, they did take his iPhone and his Glock pistol that was issued in 2013. And I know that, let me say big up to Kerry. Kerry wasn't alive last night. And of course, all PMP know to do is suggest that you extract vaginal fluid from your mother. And they were offended. One of them asked her age, and because she chose not to answer, they end up start telling her all kind of thing about her mother and kick her off the box, which Kerry, you did great. You did great. I'm very proud of you. So when them can't stand the facts and the truth, they get disrespectful, and they don't. Yeah, that's what they are. So the lie is that it's not the man who confessed to doing it did it. Also, the 22, it's a .22 caliber, not oh yes, this is what I was getting at. So I know that it was a Glock pistol because I read, and that Glock pistol was issued in 2013. That's how I know. So I see even Ingram tried this today. They have this tactics that they try to use. Where's your proof? Where you get that at? Where's the receipt? Yeah, that is for them thing. Yep. And even a good brethren, he was on my live last night, and I saw him earlier this evening before I went live. And he came, and that is why I started with the urban center thing, because in the comment section he did ask, I don't remember the question, if it's why the urban center not open or is it open? And again, a simple Google search, which let's go to Google and hear what Google say about the urban center. Some of us can sound way smarter than we are, brighter, if we just do a Google search. But again, I can tell you, PMP does not have that or possess that luxury to say, you know what, instead I go and make an ass of myself, let me do a research. to see what I'm going to find. So I search it. I ask, why is the St. Thomas Urban Center not open? This is available information. While the Marant Bay Urban Center in St. Thomas had its official ribbon cutting in May 2025, it is not yet fully open for business due to ongoing infrastructure and tenant preparation issues. Specific reasons for limited operation include ongoing constructions, work still being completed in several sections of the complex, infrastructure delay, tenants has been delayed by the absence of electricity in certain areas, and issues related to relocation of the Jamaica Public Service JPS substation. How Andrew have nothing to do with that, people? Not making excuses for him, but I'm just saying. Tenant built out. Many of the over 50 public and private sector entities, including the parish court and the various government agency, are still in a rent-free period for to retrofit their spaces before officially opening to the public. Recent reports as of February 16, 2026, reports indicate that KFC is currently one of the few businesses fully operational at the site. So, like I was saying, so somebody came into the comment section and was asking why the urban center now open. Again, JPS removing their substation and are not making excuses, I promise you. But did we have a significant event November, December, January, 3 months ago that involved JPS? I'm just thinking. Maybe something wrong with my brain. If you had to choose to do a substation just for an urban center, and this is just a hypothetical, I'm not saying, I not even know if that's the reason. And you're in Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, St. James, Trelawney, Hanover, that don't have any electricity. Where would your concern lie? Would it be with JPS removing them substation to make the urban center get? I'm just saying, again, I'm going to be bashed to say the only reason why I see it like this is because I'm defending the Prime Minister. Because that's what it is. They say that everybody is entitled to their opinion. However, when you share your opinion, you're being bashed for same. Because again, I believe that PNP think they owns Jamaica. So only for them opinion matter. First time listening to your program. I agree with you. All right. That is a comment. And let me free up my comment section here on my channel on my YouTube channel. It's DP Live. You can follow me, subscribe. Still trying to get to that 2,000 mark. Maybe no, I'm trying to get to that 3,000. Maybe people were sorry for me more if I said that, because I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. I think it's 1,900 and I don't remember. So I'm trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. So if you're watching for the very first time, if you like the content, please, I'm asking you to subscribe. If it's not your first time, you watch me every Monday night or other times and you haven't subscribed, I'm begging you, please. Even if you're on TikTok, of course, I want you to follow me here, but also make your way over to YouTube and subscribe. And subscription is free. You don't have to pay nothing. I don't even beg on none of my pages. So yeah, you're not going to see no donate button. Speaking of donate button, Pnp Is A Cult. And I'm seeing it more and more now. Friday night, I saw Kimmy did a whole thing on our show, One Kimmy Politics, showing, and maybe some of you have never heard of this before, but after Melissa, the PNP, you so right, DP, the PNP started our launch a portal that you can contribute to the Melissa relief. fund. I am going to show you that people are wising up and asking, and those of you who are here every night with me, you would record that I've had excellence and also what am I the name? Ingram, right here on my show. And when I asked them the question about the portal for the PNP, they were totally lost. They had no idea what I'm talking about. But let me just give you an overview. There's a portal that the PNP has on running right now. And another twist that I heard it this morning, they're saying that the JLP also have a donation page, which I was told, may not even look it up for myself because foolishness is foolishness. Why would the government of Jamaica set up supportjamaica.gov.ja and then still go and set up another page for the party? Does that make sense? The party is in power. JLP formed the government because they will try to refute that to tell us it's foolishness DP talking. But yes, the party that formed government is the JLP. Why would they undermine themselves and go and set up another donation? So this donation portal has been there forever. That is if you want to make a contribution to the party, you can. So now there are people who are conflating that, and when the question is asked, how much money has the PNP portal Melissa refund portal collected, they are now pivoting to, or deflecting a better expression, to the JLP donation page. Them not so bright, trust me. So PNP set up them page, and I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I want you guys to see it for yourself because more people are exposing them. So let's jump to this and make an earphone yourself and see for yourself.
It cannot be sent. It says 50-50 amount. Yeah. Then after that, you come down here. It says you are paying 4.20% plus GCT to donate this money. Yeah.
Action fee.
Yes.
So the 50-50 split away, I go 50 where and 50 where?
So we don't know.
50 to who and 50 to who? Me want to know.
So that's one answer that me I said to your friend. It's a 50-50 split, so we want to know where it's going, because when you click it, it doesn't tell you where it's going. You put 50-50 there, you put your amount, and you do your submit, and you go next. Yes, that's how it is. I thought I showed you this, Charlie.
That no make sense to me. No, sir, first me I see. I think me know everything, not true. To me, always a yap. I don't.
So this is what I've been telling the people for weeks, that this is how it is set up. And this portal is called We Pay outside of Trinidad and Tobago. And let me just come back a little and give you a little bit more. We Pay is also drowning in what you call that, revenues. They're not making enough. They're not making enough money. And this is in Trinidad where Mr. Golden's sister live. Anyways, chat, but I said that telling you something still. I don't know if you don't know. But yes, I thought you knew this.
Why we are on that Trinidad so often? I see you and go spend 30 million over this.
All right, let me leave that. Let me turn scrub. It's alleged. Scrub loves that. It's alleged. And for those of you on the TikTok page, who are not privy to what I'm sharing, you're just hearing the audio. If you go over to YouTube and typing DP Live, you'll be able to see all I'm showing on the screen. But yes, you'll be able to see that. There's another brother that share. Oh my Jesus! Let me talk about this for a little bit. So I am wondering if this photo is AI. We're all over the place tonight, but yes, and I'm going to prove that PNP is a cult. What is going on here on the screen, people? What exactly was this? Was this an AI generated image? I know I'm going to have to describe what is on my screen for my radio audience, big up VCR listeners, and my TikTok audience. It is on my TikTok page, so you know, and I caption it, what's the first thing that came to mind? So what it is a member of parliament in a blue suit and another one in a, this look like a what is this? What is the word I'm looking for? I don't remember now. But it kind of look close to purplish. But me know another eye color. Anyway, then some man colorblind. But there's this embraced and the face touching each other, and they're looking extremely gay. And that's not pun intended. That's expressing, because gay mean happy. So anybody want to come and attack me? Feel free to do so. You cannot sue me either, because in the Oxford Dictionary, gay has a meaning. Right. So that is how they're looking. So me, I wonder why. Is it that they're, let me stop speculating. But I would want to hear from my viewers. What do you think about this image on your screen? What do you think about this? Is this acceptable? Is this okay? Is this the new norm? I would really want to know. As much as I despise both, they don't look like that. As much as I despise both, they don't look like that. They don't look happy to you, Val? They look happy to me. Well, let me use the word I used before, gay. Valentina is saying that they don't look gay to her. Okay. It is what it is. So, like I said, there are several people talking about the portal. But let's jump gun. So let's play another video that I'm supposed to be talking about. So we know that taxes are coming, and this is the first in 10 years. And one of the concern is especially the internet. There are people who have no idea how that is going to work. Let's listen to this brilliant young lady that knows what she's talking about. Let's come to the video.
Which cost the country almost US dollars. Now, they've also raised billions in loans and grants, but they're still short, so new taxes it is. Yeah, it sucks, but we've had a pretty good run. There have been no new taxes for the past 10 years, and it took a Category 5 hurricane to put us in this position. So, what are these new taxes? Let's start with what to me is the most interesting one, a tax on digital services. The government plans to add 15% GCT on all your streaming, subscriptions, software purchases, etc. They say this is to promote fairness. According to Finance Minister Favour Williams, many of these services are provided by businesses with no physical presence in Jamaica, so they don't pay taxes here. But similar services provided by locals are subject to taxes, which puts Jamaican businesses at a disadvantage. The idea is to tax digital services based on where they're consumed rather than where they're provided. They're expecting to earn 300 million JMD in year one. That's about $2 million US. And that's because they won't start implementing it until Q4, which is January of 2027. By year two, they're expecting to net 4.2 billion JMD from digital services. That's $27 million US.
Listen and learn.
The government is about to start taxing all your digital subscriptions like Netflix, Amazon Prime, even ChatGPT. But how will they do it? Good question. I'm Kalila from Money Media, bringing you money news for the Caribbean. So the new tax on digital services is part of a 30 billion Jamaican dollar revenue package. That's about 200 million US dollars that the government needs to raise because of Hurricane Melissa, which cost the country almost 9 billion US dollars. Now, they've also raised billions in loans and grants, but they're still short, so new taxes it is. Yeah, it sucks, but we've had a pretty good run. There have been no new taxes for the past 10 years, and it took a Category 5 hurricane to put us in this position. So, what are these new taxes? Let's start with what to me is the most interesting one, a tax on digital services. The government plans to add 15% GCT on all your streaming, subscriptions, software purchases, etc. They say this is to promote fairness. According to Finance Minister, services are provided by businesses with no physical presence in Jamaica, so they don't pay taxes here. But similar services provided by locals are subject to taxes, which puts Jamaican businesses at a disadvantage. The idea is to tax digital services based on where they're consumed rather than where they're provided. They're expecting to earn 300 million JMD in year one. That's about 2 million US dollars. And that's because they won't start implementing it until Q4, which is January of 2027. By year two, they're expecting to net 4.2 billion JMD from digital services. That's 27 million US dollars. But how exactly will they implement this? Are they going to attempt to have arrangements with all the digital services providers? Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon, Google, Meta, ChatGPT. There are literally thousands. It seems impossible that they would be able to identify them all and get them all to add GCT to the bill. The more practical way will probably be through the banks. We typically pay for these services using a credit or debit card. Now, if you look at your Jamaican bank statement right now, you'll notice a GCT charge every time you use your debit card at a point of sale machine or online. This is a tax on the bank transaction itself. It's not added to your bill from the vendor. So in theory, the government could use this method to add GCT to payments for digital services. Now, the challenge will be for them to identify which charges are for goods versus digital services. For example, you may have a charge from Amazon for your Amazon Prime subscription or for a Kindle ebook, which are digital services, but you may also have Amazon charges for physical items being shipped to Jamaica. How will they know what is what? I'm curious to hear how this will be implemented. Now, we should be learning the details when the budget debate starts in March, and I'll be covering the other tax measures in my next video, so make sure you subscribe and follow. And that's the bottom line.
Listen and learn.
That's the bottom line. So Valentina is saying no to the gayness. The features, they don't look like that in real life. So that's why I was asking as a question, was it AI? I don't know, because this is the next thing, people. You can't just believe everything that you see or hear. You know what I say? Katabi says, Miss Reynolds, where is it? Miss Reynolds tends to be biased most times. I don't find her to be biased, because most of the time she just explains stuff, which I think she did a good job to explain. Because for one, it's going to start in Q4, so that's going to be the last quarter of 2026 to 2027, which is going to be from January to March. So, me still ask who the brother here, and nobody not tell me who yet. I saw this video and I had to share it because it don't make no sense to me, and me I ask people for explain. Asking people to explain this one for me, because let's jump to it. The man said,
About charging Jamaicans more taxes. Think about it. We're already a country suffering. People are broke. Don't look at the people driving the rich cars and living in the rich houses. That's a minor amount of the population. Minor. If we have 3 million people in Jamaica, I don't even think 20% is doing well. And the ones that are doing other things, are not things that I would want to do. So how can you, after coming out of a Category 5 hurricane that devastated not just the West, but businesses across the island that depend on tourism and depend on the dollar and depend on services, I want to sit down and tax people? And your excuse is, Melissa, how much money did you give Jamaica Public Service Company? Do you think about that 150 million US when you're thinking about taxing Jamaican people? How much money did you receive from coffers all over the world and locals as well, in the billions? And where did that go? So why do we have to now be taxed for a hurricane? Think about it. Didn't your other minister put this in place not to have this happen to us and get an insurance of 150 million US to help us, which was given away to another company who don't give a crap about us? And you want to turn around and tell me that you're going to tax Jamaicans that already can't pay tax? We already can't pay the tax. Look on your tax burden for the country. Look at how many people owe tax. Don't look at all these fancy cars coming in and being bought because
That is the line that
I
caught.
just don't like it. But honestly,
Don't look at all these
how
fancy cars
can we
coming in
even
Jamaica.
think, Minister?
Sir,
How can we even
I want to
think
tell you some stuff.
about charging
It
Jamaicans more
wouldn't come
tax?
across to be a professional. So I'm going to reserve my feelings until I come off this live. But when I listen to the kind of people who, and I heard the video, and I think this was Friday morning, and then I was listening to a radio station and hear one of the PNP, what me call them, activists with the same talking point. Crap. So this man, which me sure, me still don't know who, some of us I say, me sure I drive big expensive cars. And he's telling the minister, he's telling the government that, no, don't look at the big cars that we drive. You can't do that. What you're supposed to do is don't tax us. Sir?
Answer.
Again, as
On a defensive, so.
I'm
let's
responding
say
yes or no
one more
answer,
video
please.
explaining.
I'm responding to classic.
When I talk, when you see
And what is the
money
response?
I'm responding to classic.
The,
Yeah, and what it
report,
is?
right?
What is the response?
That Mark Golding has demonstrated at a certain level of
Sir,
integrity.
have you donated,
God.
yes or no?
Level of
Jesus,
integrity.
please.
Answer.
On a defensive, so.
I'm
It's a
responding to
yes or
classic.
no answer, please.
I'm responding to classic.
When I talk, when you see
And what is the
money
response?
You say.
I'm responding to classic.
Yeah, and what it is? What is the response?
That Mark Golding has demonstrated at a certain level of
Sir,
integrity.
have you donated,
God.
yes or no?
Level of
Jesus,
integrity.
please.
It look
Have
like
you
Mr.
donated,
England
yes
now,
or
yeah.
no? Me never ask you about Mark Golding nothing. Me ask you if you donate, yes or no?
Sorry, classic. They suggest that you move on because
Yeah, move on.
All right, so
Move on.
people,
You're not
come
minded.
follow me, no
Move
follow
on.
me, no follow me. All right.
Yeah,
So
move on.
there are two currencies that you can donate in. And you can see JMD and USD. Cool? All right. This was highlighted yesterday. Anyhow, we're going to put in some figures. We're going to donate something. Boom. 10,000. Them say we can put in 10,000 US. Cool? So we're going to take off back that. So we can donate 10,000, don't it? All right, we'll touch us now. Add to above amount. And it says, we'll zoom in, you know. Zoom in. 50-50 split. Because may I respond to Jermaine. Jermaine, you may I respond to here without you asking me a question. Because people are saying, why is it that the people them where want to call attention, some assistance? And you say, but the MP is supposed to donate from them pocket.
My friend, stop talking like you're an idiot, man. Come on for that, man.
Anyways, 50-50 split. People, can you imagine if I donate a thousand US dollars right now? 50% of it will go to the PNP itself, and 50%, which is $500, will go to the Melissa fund where them set up. 50%.
My God.
So hold
These
on.
people are scammers.
Hold on the classic. So you say 50%.
50%
It's
of
not
anything
the
that
full
I
$1,000 that
donate
go
or
towards
you
the
donate.
victim. So 50% goes to only 50% of what you would donate to go towards the victim.
Only 50% will go to assisting
Point of
the
order.
same
Where's that
Jamaicans where
information?
them
Where's
say
that
that is in
information?
need.
And
Point of order.
50%
Where's
going
that
on the
Classic.
information?
And the next
Classic.
50% goes to
Classic.
the
Him a
PNP.
ask if I come with the receipt.
Where's that
Him say where the
No
information?
receipt this,
information there.
No receipt this,
It's a
PNP
50-50
paid me the
split
pan.
in gram. You know,
What
see
it, what fit, and what the 50-50 split mean?
The 50-50 split mean 50 go to the PNP and 50 goes to to people who need the assistance.
Where is that information? Where's that information?
People, you have to pay a service fee differently.
Where is that information?
Tonight we there look
This
for.
is a document. The information is on the document where I show you right now.
I'm not seeing anything there that
It's
says
on the
website. It is on
I'm
the
not seeing
PNP
anything.
website. Look at the top.
What I'm looking at here,
you still not see it.
I'm not looking at anything here saying
So why you don't want to look for it?
50% for
What you do,
the.
you lock
Look
your eye?
at the top. The website is
I
listed.
could go back. Boom. I could come out of this. Cool? See it there. People's National Party. Click
What
on
date?
that.
What is date? What the date? No, go back. What's the date?
What's the date?
Yeah, what's the date?
Oh, today's date.
No, the date that it start.
The date where this start. You
No
ever see
man,
that?
me not talk to you, brother. Me not talk to you, brother.
You ever see that? Because I click on this. I click on that. Cool? You want to hear Mark Golden talk?
Yeah, man, make him talk.
All right, so we don't need to hear Mark talk because I don't want to hear Mark talk. So yes, it is Peter. For those of you sharing with me, that it's Peter. Yes, it is Peter. So again, I apologize for my TikTok viewers not seeing the visual. But this is why I'm telling you, if you want to see what's on my screen, go over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. I'm still trying to get 3,000 subscribers. So classic, big up yourself. I wish I could have that level of decorum that, just deal with things easy. How can I be showing something to you on a screen and I just freeze my audio? I know I kicked something a while ago. What is it? Just kick something out. My audio, something freeze. I know. Let me play my ad and see if I can sort it out. Bear with me, people. Bear with me.
DP stands for Damian Phillips. All who never knew get with it. So if you see a girl's phone and it's my name DP, don't feel no.
Let's see if that works for me. Feel like I got a camera. I'm kick out though. Was it? Yes, it was.
DP stands for Damian Phillips. All who never knew get with it. So if you see a girl's phone and it's my name DP, don't feel no way. Adjust the habit. Politics, it doesn't matter. Me I go talk, bringing light to the lost, so you will get it. DP is my name, please don't spoil it. Concerns as I share everything, just know it's all knowledge. Views expressed, you know the rest.
Come talk with DP. Fix it. Get behind me, Satan. Now, I come and try to flap your hand, try flap me shoulder night. Give it to sir. Give it to sir. I don't know. That's all right. Where was I? So yes, if I'm showing you something on my screen and you're on the live and you're saying, where's the proof? Show me. And like, no, I'm gonna lose it. So classic, big up yourself. This comment say, the problem is we are not accustomed to having a reserve. We would rather the government use the reserve that that implement should that be than implement new taxes. Can a country, what it says, can a country like Jamaica run with taxation? No, you're gonna force me to play one video. You're going to force me to play a video. And this is something that I've been talking about. Oh, can a country run without taxation? Okay, I see what you're doing here. We can hear you. Yes, but that video had frozen for a minute. Okay, so I don't need to, maybe I should play that video. Maybe I should. But anyways, what time is it? 10:10. Getting out of here at 10:30. Nobody has sent me any requests on TikTok, so I guess you don't really want to talk to me. But we still have a couple minutes if you want to send me something. So I was on a live this evening and I was sharing with the people, and I say, I've been saying it, never looked it up before, that PNP is a cult. And I'm going to read some things here and tell me if this does not align fully with what we know of the PNP. And for those of you just coming in, big up yourself. Feel like may I start the show too early at night time because more people coming. And this is AI overview. And all I put in is cult. I didn't ask who is a cult, what is the cult, is the PNP a cult or not. All I put in is cult. And it says here, and I read, a cult is typically defined as a social group with socially deviant or novel beliefs and practices, often characterized by intense devotion to a leader. I grew up all me hear about is manly. Me I wonder if the man, me always say me feel bad for even Portia and PJ. Like all I hear is manly. So devotion to a leader, object or ideology, and the use of exploitive, manipulative, or coercive techniques. These groups often isolate members, demand absolute obedience. So this is why you hear them telling Damien, say, "Quat, keep your little backside quiet." Demand absolute obedience and lack transparency. Historically, the term originated from Latin cultus worship, care, cultivation, and evolved from referring to specific religious ritual, example, cult of the saint, to a more sociology terms for groups displaying highly controlled behaviors. I'm not can look it up for myself, and I don't have to take no word, nothing what me say. All right? You don't have to. So, key characteristics and warning signs. And again, if you don't see the PNP in this, that means he's a part of the cult. That's the only reason why you wouldn't see it. And they have some bullet points here. 1, charismatic leader. I always hear them say that about Manley. Manley was a very charismatic leader. Manley was a living authoritarian leader who is idolized and often considered the sole source of truth. So anything a man say, sole source of truth. Let's link it to Mark Golden. What is the YouTube page? It is DP Live. That's the YouTube page. Mark Golden Even today, I hear one of them trying to say, oh, Mark is a man of virtue. Mark is a man of... Mark is... Always trying to sell their leader as, source of truth. Next bullet point, isolation. And this is why I looked it up, because earlier, one of my panelists was saying somebody told him something and he had to apologize because he ended up hearing it for himself. That to be a true comrade, even your family, you have to isolate and all of these things. And the brethren him said, no, nothing can go so. And when he heard it from a comrade, he had to apologize. So, isolation. Members are frequently cut off from family, friends, and society, making them dependent on the group. So anytime I hear them attack, no care what forum it is, they have to identify comrade this and that, comrade this person, comrade that person. And that makes them feel good about themselves. Comrade this and comrade that. Then the next bullet point, exploitation. Listen to this one. Financial, and I talk about this over and over. Andrea Moore ran against the late Lindale Bloomfield. Sounds like cult to me. And she had to spend her own money. Never get no money from PNP. But anyway, so exploitation, financially, sexual or labor exploitation is common. Sound like an issue we heard the other day. It sound like a Dwayne Vaz, Jolan Chang, they exploit. And anyway, I'm just asking a question. Does it sound like that? No exit strategy. So as much as Damien feel like he's not being treated right, as you, Blair, told me on a live last week, that if Damien should ever try to run against, again, cultish, cult-like, ever try to run against the leader, him or anyone else will be committing a political suicide. I have that on recording from a comrade. So no exit strategy. Fear, inducing tactics are used to prevent members from leaving. What? You cannot leave the PNP, you're mad? What the end of the election campaign, them never say any PNP switch I got end up in a ditch. You remember that statement? And I was really taken aback from the person who said it. Any PNP switch is going to end up in a ditch. So no exit strategy. And here it has religious, sometimes used historically to refer to a specific orthodox or more recent heterodox religious group. So you can go and look it up. Play the recording. Which recording? If you switch, you're going to end up in a ditch. Yes, I remember. So go and look it up for yourself and have it that you can draw for it. Sometimes when we hear something, maybe you hear just one or two and you overlook the other parts. But those comrades who are watching right now, instead of cuss me and hate me, because that is something else that they don't like. You see, if you try to give them facts or just read to them, they have a problem with it. And again, something, let me not mention that. But yeah, because I don't know nobody say me I diss them. But if you find that in this day and age, so Damien is going nowhere. Exactly. In this day and age, people are not willing to listen to you, look up something, research it, and read it. That tell you exactly where they are. And to me, is one set of people don't like to read or like to hear anything being read. And I don't need to tell you what that category of people are. They don't want to hear read nothing. They don't want to hear research nothing. And that happened earlier even in my life. A gentleman came up and asked a question. And when I put it into Google and ask, and I read it. You could hear him brushing it off, saying, "Yeah, okay, da 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 da." Him don't want to hear it. No, the recording of the blogger that said Damien is committing political suicide. So let me find it for you. All right. So I do have a couple more minutes. If anybody on TikTok want to send me a request to come and talk to me, feel free to do so. Let me try to see if I can pull up Mr. Blair talking about what a comrade is not allowed to do. You're not allowed to choose your path. And I found it interesting when Damien say, not because you have interests in running the party, mean that you should basically him say kiss people's wear. But before I share that, there's a Ralston Hyman that PMP says the best economist. Let me share about the taxing or the new taxes. Let's listen to him. Let's listen to Mr.
Go ahead.
No, finish your thought.
Right. So if we follow the minister's confusing line and the debt to GDP is 68%, and you have access to $1 trillion at under 5%, why you need to tax the people? And because you know taxes are contract the economy. When the economy gets smaller, the debt to GDP ratio get higher.
Yeah.
When the lady is confused, she don't know what to do. And Damian King, what tell her one bag of foolishness.
So what now, Rally, you expect, Julian, because the budget debate starts when?
Starts March 10. Silver speaking.
March 10. And then Julian will be speaking the Tuesday after that? What do you expect to hear from a Julian Robinson and a Mark Golding? And what will the Prime Minister say?
Yeah, man.
Rally? Rally?
Well, we expect me to hear the... Yeah, man. You listen to me?
Yes, go
Can
ahead.
you hear me?
We are here now.
Yeah, we expect the opposition to say that we're against this tax package because the only thing that can deal with the economy and the future now is to grow the economy, and taxes, mopping up of liquidity, are contractionary. So as an opposition, what we would recommend is that Mark has already said that we reduce the asset tax, get the banks to reduce the interest rates so that we can provide a stimulus to the economy, because that's what the economy needs right now. And growth will take care of everything because we are comfortable in the debt to GDP ratio and we have access to over $1 trillion at below 5%. So what we are saying is that we want to see a growth strategy that focuses on agriculture, manufacturing, energy, the creative industry, logistics, and the stimulation of the small and micro enterprises sector, which contribute the most to economic growth and to employment and tax collection. Simple.
Junior, have a final piece. Take a next call or two.
The money have access to $1 trillion at below 5%.
There you have it. And I brand this as the talking
What?
because
go ahead.
that is how the PMP work. They
Right.
can't
So
come
if
up
we
with anything. They have to wait until when
Now,
hear
right
from
there.
people like this man, you know,
the money have access to $1 trillion.
Listen and
come
learn.
out and repeat it. Yeah. They come out and
My
repeat
sister line,
what
again.
they
That's
My
my
sister line.
Yep. So let me try to find that clip
Hi,
with
guys.
with the PMP. Somebody asked me to share it with them. Of you, Blair, stating that
Why did you think?
challenge? So
Made by the Prime Minister and her Finance Minister regarding the impending levy on withdrawals from financial institutions. Amidst growing controversy over the measure, Portia Simpson-Miller says Dr. Peter Phillips should explain the measure further. However, one political commentator argues the Prime Minister may well have to say more on the issue. This is what the Prime Minister told me on Tuesday about the impending levy on withdrawing money from financial institutions.
What I understand from the minister's thing today to us at Cabinet is that the banks do take their charges as well, and that's like the bank charges, not like, I think some persons believe that if you go to the ATM, say 4 times for the month, you'll have to pay. And my understanding is that I think the minister himself needs to explain this to the public that they can understand exactly what it is about.
But Prime Minister, wouldn't this essentially be passed on to the deposit to the bank use at some point?
No, there's some confusion as to how this thing is going to be working. That's what I'm saying. I believe he should explain now.
So the Prime Minister had placed this duty on her Finance Minister. Hours earlier, Dr. Peter Phillips had sought to do just that, explain the revenue measure.
$100 would be what, 10 cents? Of $1,000 is $1. No, if we're going to $100, 10 cents. 10 cents. Withdrawal of $1,000, $1. For withdrawal of $400, the levy would be $400, and for 400,000 would be $4,000.
No, $400.
$400.
He then tried again.
Let me go through it again. For withdrawal of $1,000, the levy would be $1. For withdrawal of $100,000, it would be $10. For withdrawal of $400,000, it would be $400.
The second time wasn't quite the charm. He still got something wrong. It's actually $100 to withdraw $100,000, not $10. And what of this comment from the Prime Minister?
I think some persons believe that if you go to the ATM, say 4 times for the month, you'll have to pay. And my understanding is that
the Finance Minister gave no such suggestion when he was explaining the levy. Political commentator and columnist Kevin O'Brien Chang argues the Prime Minister should speak further on the issue instead of leaving it to
So
it's made by the Prime Minister and her Finance Minister.
PNP. So rich technology. Let's listen to this one.
Mr. Speaker, you will note that the financing identified above is short of some $6.7 billion to fully fund the 2014-2015 budget. This amount must come from new taxes.
Say it again. Come up.
Mr. Speaker, you will note that the financing identified above is short of some $6.7 billion to fully fund the 2014-2015 budget. This amount must come from new taxes.
All right. Papa is that. So
it's made by the Prime Minister and her Finance Minister regarding the impending levy on withdrawals from financial institutions.
So
it's made by the Prime Minister and her Finance Minister regarding the impending levy on withdrawals from financial institutions. Amidst growing controversy over the measure, Portia Simpson-Miller said,
no. So we shouldn't be taxing.
Okay. Why did you think?
We cannot do that. It's wrong to do that. The people cannot manage this burden. It's wrong. People, be careful. PNP is set on. As I said, PNP is not united.
Strong contribution.
Yeah,
There.
Sounded tense.
Trying to find that clip. Didn't plan on sharing that clip tonight, but I still have, do I? No. The show done. So I'm going to wrap up and tell you guys thanks for joining me this evening. And remember, I'm here every Monday night at 9. Those of you who haven't made your way over to TikTok, what are you waiting on? Come over TikTok, man. Come over TikTok. It's fun over there. In fact,
I wouldn't say I'm a motivational speaker.
I start doing something that I
If you
used to
just
do,
pass
talking
on,
about like relationship issues. I had a blast
if
last night.
something come,
You know, several women were on the page and they were talking freely. Jeffrey, thanks for the follow. I like how TikTok is an informer, I see. Yeah. So they were speaking freely, you know, and the takeaway is that men, if you work too hard, although most of us think that when we're working hard is for a woman, if you work too hard, you may end up getting bun. I wonder if Nikki's still there. She did say that. Yes. Or maybe divorced somewhere down the line. So don't work too hard. And if your woman says she needs time with you, you should do so. One man was on the live last night and he was encouraging men saying, listen, if you're working 10 hours a day and your woman start complaining, even if it means that you're going to lose $1 million for working one less hour,
you remember growing
that
up,
is what
they
you
used to
should
say,
do.
word is wind.
So
He
don't know
tries to
if that
capture
makes sense to you, but it made sense to
is
him.
not.
And the women on the channel, they were in support of him. I'm just saying, I can't. That is half a man. Yeah, that is his take. But like I said, join me if you have not yet started doing anything on TikTok. And it's not as scary as you thought it was, because I thought it was scary, but TikTok is not scary. It's just a very hostile space. But again, you have the control, so you can block who you don't want to hear from. And I've been learning to do that too. That some people were maybe you and them even start out
Jesus
together,
Christ, make
You,
it
Richard,
dinner.
you don't tell me what.
and I realized
Richard, you don't tell me what to
Mr.
ask, man.
Richards, Mr. Richards.
because again, the one thing I would hate if you are here like Vibe has been here all evening and not liking nothing that I'm saying, but Vibe is still here, and to me that's supposed to feel like punishment. Again, I'm not finding the video I want to share, so I'm going to encourage those of you who wanted to hear that video with alluded to Blair saying that anybody that tried to challenge the PNP is going to be committing a political suicide. You can follow me. Is going to be committing a political suicide. So that's it for tonight. Follow me on my channel. You will. Thanks for all the likes and thanks for all the. Let me try that again. Thanks for all the likes and thanks for all the follow. Remember my YouTube challenge. My YouTube channel. I'm trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed this yet, what are you waiting for? You need to subscribe to my channel, right? I'm gonna feel like more in my TikTok just to play for YouTube. YouTube people. But that is it. I always say if I can be good. Yeah, this kind of nice. I can bring up my TikTok right here. Oh, Lord. Should I continue over TikTok? Nah, not gonna do that. Thank you very much for being here tonight. I do enjoy you guys' company. By the way, the nightmare. What is that? Bless up, appreciate it. No TikTok for me. Katabi, why not? What are you scared of? Tell me what you're scared of. They do laugh. All the young people here, our Jamaica used to sound like 3 years old, running in under PMP. And this was the last PNP administration close list. Thank you for that comment. Again, big up to everyone. Big up to my TikTok followers. Thanks for pushing the numbers. I'm over 4,000 followers on TikTok. Never knew when I started. Let me say a shout out to my friend Marsha. Marsha is the one that was pushing me to go TikTok, and no, I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, I'm trying to get my numbers up on YouTube. And yeah, may I see some little sense of trickle in, so maybe that's why I may push it so much. Which I always say this, that is it. People don't want to support you because them don't want to make no money off of them. I feel that's the reason why I only have 1,900 and some subscribers. Still better than some, because I know people who trying to get to the 1,000 mark and it's not happening. What is this? You're now a what? You're now a TikToker. Okay. All right. So I'm a TikToker. Whatever that means. Again, PNP is a cult. That's what I'm leaving with. If you can be good, please be careful. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.
Stands for Damian Phillips. All who never knew get with it. So if you see a girl's phone and it's my name DP, don't feel no way, or just a habit. Politics, politics, it doesn't matter, me I go talk. Bringing light to the lost so you will get it. DP is my name, please don't spoil it. Big up Portland, St. Thomas, Jamaica and America. Come listen my show. On the corner me I bring, come chat. Voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. Views expressed, you know the rest. Come chat with DP. Call me Damian Phillips. Yeah. So if you see your girl's phone and it's my name DP, don't feel no way, or just a habit. Politics, politics, it doesn't matter, me I go talk. Bringing light to the lost so you will get it. DP is my name, please don't spoil it. Big up Portland, St. Thomas, Jamaica and America. Come listen my show. On the corner me I bring, come chat. Voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. Yeah, views expressed, you know the rest. Come chat with DP. Call me Damian Phillips. Yeah. Come listen my show. On the corner me I bring, come chat. Voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. VP is my name, please don't spoil it. Big up Portland, St. Thomas, Jamaica and America. Come listen my show. On the corner me I bring, come chat. Voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. Just know it's a general knowledge. Views expressed, you know the rest. Come chat with DP. Call me Damian Phillips. Whoa, ooh yeah, Phillips. Call me Damian Phillips. Yeah. Yeah, DP stands for Damian Phillips. All all who never knew get with it. So if you see your girl's phone and it's my name DP, don't feel no way, adjust the habit.